We tell stories at Milwaukee PBS. Here's one you may have missed.
So John said, meet me on the west side of the Rock River, right by the dam, in view of the island. There's the island, there's the dam, and here's John Gurda. Hi, John.
Hey, John.
How are you?
Pretty good.
So let's talk about how did this happen, Jefferson?
It's another river story, John.
Okay.
When the first Yankees arrived here back in 1836, they saw the confluence of the crawfish and the Rock Rivers, and they said, oh, water power. So pretty soon they built a low-rise dam that powered first a sawmill, then a flour mill, then a willow mill, building still here.
Right there.
And that helped Jefferson become kind of a small-scale industrial center. Over the years, they made everything from shoes to chairs, and also kind of a trading center for the rural farming area.
It's a story that sounds familiar. We've heard it before.
We've heard it before lots of times, including on the Rock River. Just for our show, we have been to Mayville, Horicon, Watertown, Fort Atkinson, and Beloit, all on the Rock River, and all brought to life because the river offered both water power and transportation.
What's different about the Jefferson history?
A couple of things. One was that there was a motorcycle factory here back in the early 1900s run by an engineer who used to work for Harley-Davidson, and they manufactured a cycle here called the Jefferson, and it was one of the fastest on the road. And the company folded in 1919, so the company's long gone. Now it's kind of a vintage collector's item. The bigger difference is ethnic. Germans began to arrive in Jefferson back in the 1840s, and before long they were a majority of the population. That meant beer, among other things. By 1880, when there were not even 2,000 people here, they had 3 breweries.
Says it all.
Including one that had a big hall for what they called theatrical entertainments. So the Germans were elsewhere up and down the river. The difference in Jefferson was the depth and durability of German pride. In 1971, they began to hold Gemütlichkeit days for the first time, and it's still the town's main event, held every September.
Say it again.
Gemütlichkeit. Gemütlichkeit.
Gemütlichkeit.
Right.
What is that?
It's a German word that means something like coziness or contentment. When I think of Gemütlichkeit, I think of the feeling you get after a full meal, surrounded by family and friends, when dessert's still coming and there's still cold beer in the fridge.
That's a good feeling, isn't it?
It is.
So, John, what do they do at Gemütlichkeit days?
Gemütlichkeit days, they have a parade, they have a dance, they have lots of lederhosen, lots of dirndl dresses, and lots of contests. Everything from best beer to best costume to best homemade bratwurst to fastest sauerkraut eater. They used to have a beer drinking contest, that's gone, but now they have a beer stein carrying contest for kids.
Really?
Yeah, they do.
They call it G-Day, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. What else happens here?
Still a lot of industry in the area. They lost the Tyson pepperoni plant right here across the river back in 2016, which meant the loss of around 400 jobs. But others have stepped up, and Jefferson has this great location just off the freeway, about halfway between Milwaukee and Madison. So people do commute in both directions and think they have kind of the best of both worlds. They have city jobs and rural homes.
Population?
About 8,000, and still just a slight majority German, but also 12% Latino, so more diverse than it has been.
And location?
It's about 6 square miles, halfway between Milwaukee and Madison at the confluence of the Rock and Crawfish rivers as it was in the beginning.
It may have been a familiar story, but it's got its own real specifics, doesn't it?
It does, and it has still a very gemütlich feeling.
It does. That's good. Thanks, John.
See you, John.
Watch Around the Corner with John McGivern on Milwaukee PBS and watch online at milwaukeepbs.org.